Hi friends, I'm Dani and welcome to episode 36 of the World of DVC Show. We've got an amazing show planned for you today. We're going to talk all about your favorite pools and the best resort to buy right now.
Wait, Dani, what about the best resort to rent points at?
Okay, Carrie, we can talk.
Dani, what is the best Disney Vacation Club resort to sell?
Okay,
right now?
Okay, guys, we can talk about all of that. Don't worry, but we have to stop talking and get the show on the road, or we won't cover any of it.
Okay.
Fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now entering the world of DVC, the ultimate DVC destination where magical vacations meet incredible value through exceptional service. Put in your headphones, turn the volume up, sit back, relax, and step into the world of DVC.
Just wish on a star. Enter the world of DVC.
Hello.
Hey!
Wait a minute. Things look a little different around here today,
What's
Derek.
happening?
What do you mean? Everything looks exactly the same. What are you talking about?
Marissa? Where are you?
She's right. She's right here.
I'm Marissa. This is Carrie.
Hello, everyone.
It's a great dress.
Marissa is with us in spirit.
Yes,
As
we
we
miss her.
start episode number 36. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it's 36, and we've been entrusted. The thrice of us in this show. I am the timekeeper, by the way, so I will do my best to keep this show under 3 hours and 45 minutes. We'll see what happens, though. I know.
Hold her to it.
You've got three chit-chatty expressives at this table, and Marissa's usually the one to be like, get back on track, and I say that with love because I don't want her to watch this and be like, thanks for throwing me under the bus, because I can hear it.
This will probably be the first episode where I don't leave with bloody shins from her kicking me under.
We're not done yet, though, so she gave me different instructions than she gave you.
Yes, welcome.
She's actually on a FaceTime call, watching our every move.
No,
She
she is busier than, as they say in Steel Magnolias, a one-arm paper hanger. I'm not really sure what that means, but she's busy, to say the least. And yes, you were going to say welcome to everybody.
No, I was just going to say she's off meeting with our partners and friends over at Universal, coming up with more fantastic
Some fun stuff
things
coming.
and ways for you to use your Disney Vacation Club points. So they have left the inmates to run the asylum.
But when she said that Dani was coming on, I really had high hopes that we'd be traveling to France or Italy or I don't know, somewhere. I didn't think we'd.
You guys, I have a wedding to plan.
Oh, is that what it is?
I cannot take any more trips for a little bit. I am going to be right here for at least the next few months.
All right, fair enough.
And we're so glad to have you here.
And your wedding's coming up in 2 months.
Yes, June 8th. I am going to be a married woman. We got our marriage certificate and everything.
So
It is,
exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
I was going to say your honeymoon. I don't even know. I mean, are you going to the moon? Are you going to Jupiter? Because
Mars.
you've literally been everywhere on this whole entire planet.
So I think we're actually going to switch it up a bit and maybe
Stay
do a domestic trip.
Oh.
Maybe a road trip or something.
Super
We're going to go to 192 and stay at the Leaky Tiki,
There's a big Ferris wheel on iDrive. We've never tried that before here in Orlando. And a rock wall or something like that, right? An escape room.
And
I'll vlog about it.
you are already, which is perfect for this show. Before we delve into it, we're very, very excited. Marissa came up with this topic, and we love it. So we think you guys
great.
are going to, we've had so much fun just trying to talk about it, trying to come up with our own choices, which basically this show is going to talk about which resort, if you could buy any Disney Vacation Club resort, which DVC resort would you buy? Which DVC resort would you sell? Which DVC would you rent points if you're not a member?
Not a member.
And which DVC resort would you rent your points out?
I don't know why we had to count that down.
clearly didn't
For
rehearse
those
that.
listening and not watching, Dani and I did a very nice countdown for Derek's intro.
Yeah, so we're going back to basics. We're covering the things. These are probably some of the most asked questions that we get, as sales agents here. And so, let's dive into it.
Delve into it. So before we do, we always like to share some pixie dust if we've done anything quote unquote magical. And you are by far glowing with pixie dust because you came here to the office directly from Disney's Animal Kingdom villas where you are working.
Let me paint the picture for you, okay? I wake up this morning with my cup of coffee.
Did the Lion King soundtrack play in the background?
The Lion King played in the background. I draw the shades. I step out on my balcony. It is. I wish I could just show you how beautiful the weather is.
It's beautiful.
today
It is. You're
Florida.
right.
Like, it was just the most beautiful day. So I walk out and I get greeted with a giraffe, and there's zebras and wildebeest.
magical.
And it is just the cool, and it never gets old. I have stayed at Animal Kingdom more times than I can count.
Yeah.
And it just never gets old. How do you get used to waking up with safari animals right on your balcony?
I know.
So
it's the
cool. I
coolest
totally
thing.
geeked out.
It's the coolest thing. I stayed there for a night last June, and it rained the entire day and night. But we weren't going to go do anything at all. But I had the balcony door open. So then you hear the rain, and like the giraffes are underneath the trees, like you could see all the little animals hiding.
Carrie, let me in. Can
Usually people will look that stuff up on Spotify and it helps them go to sleep at night.
But it was
real life.
It was
for you.
real. It was real. It was beautiful. I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
See,
so
it's
cool.
so great. Like that's when we always love to be able to just share with you our little moments of pixie dust, our little moments of zen. I went to Epcot last Friday, so just my wife and I went there. Just had the best time just walking around. Rode absolutely no rides, no attractions.
That's the best thing to do.
No shows. We walked
so
around.
fun.
We ate for the first time. By the way, well, of course we ate at those little booths and stuff, but we just wanted to pop into, I think it's the Regal Beagle Smokehouse, or it's not the Regal
Eagle.
Regal
Eagle. Regal Beagle was Three's Company.
Wait, right? That food is good.
Dani doesn't know what Three's Company is. I think she's too young.
No.
Yeah, no, that's just Derek and I. Gen X over here.
The Three Musketeers.
Never mind. We'll tell you later.
I'll tell you later. But yes,
the Regal Eagle.
Regal
it is
Eagle.
good.
It was really, really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It was like
What'd you have?
$13. We just split
nice.
it. I don't know, some kind of brisket and a piece of toast.
Something
and
smoked.
some
Nice.
Yeah, it's like smoky meats and they had beer. It was awesome. So I
Nice.
highly recommend doing that because we didn't want to make a reservation. We just didn't want to be tied to anything.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to be able to pop in and pop
So
out.
nice.
What about
Nice
you?
little date night.
Oh my gosh! Well,
What did you do?
Before the show, Derek's like, "What champagne did you have at Epcot this time, Carrie?" None. I've not been to Epcot. I've been cleaning my closet. That's not really that fun. But I did bump into a celebrity when I went to a farmer's market in Windermere a couple of Fridays
you didn't
ago.
tell us this.
Well, I didn't tell you this, but my best friend Maxine and I went to the Windermere farmer's market because it's like the most delightful farmer's market, and we bumped into Derek. That was the celebrity sighting that we had. We went for a walk and everything because we had just had a brunch at Dixie Cream Cafe, which is right up the street. And I said, Maxine, I need to go take a walk. And so we were walking, and I said, "There's Annie." And so then we see Derek, and so we had a celebrity sighting.
Wait,
at the farmer's
who's a
market.
bigger celebrity though, Derek or Annie?
In my opinion, Annie.
Comment below.
Yeah, Annie, for sure.
But it was so funny. I know
That was awesome.
It was
seeing
great.
you.
It was great to bump into you on a
We
just a
really
random
do
Friday.
like each other.
We do.
We really
We do.
genuinely like
Yeah,
each other.
sometimes
So-
I like Annie a little bit better, but I love you.
I mean, but she's just an angel.
She's so sweet. Oh, she is.
Married. I
She
mean,
is.
She's the
Sweet.
greatest.
Yes.
you married up.
I'm married way up. 30 years. She's still with me. And every day I look, I'm like, how are you still here? Like,
We
I
asked the same question. We asked the same question. No, I'm joking. You guys are the best. You guys
thank
are
you.
the best. Yeah. So it was fun, but I've not done anything Disney, and I need to because to Dani's point, the weather has been spectacular. Like this is why we live here.
Oh, it's the best.
This is just if we could bottle this and keep the humidity away. and
If this could be our summers,
so
then it would be
beautiful.
Florida would literally be perfect.
Yes.
If this weather could be all summer long.
It's
oh,
perfect.
I forgot to tell you guys. Guess what I saw last night?
a giraffe.
Well, I saw a giraffe too, but okay.
My wife?
Derek.
So we went out to dinner. We had a late dinner. I worked pretty late last night, so I was taking calls from the balcony of my Savannah view. And then we went out to dinner after I got off work, and then we just swung by the front desk, and we explained we used to be former cast members and worked for DVC. And is there any way we could see the 3-bedroom grand villa at
you got to
Jumbo?
see it?
Oh,
And she was like, "Of course." They were
Disney cast members
amazing.
are the best.
I know.
Yep.
We stayed and shared stories. It was so great. But this is the one with the pool table.
Yeah.
Yes.
The infamous
So
pool table.
cool.
It was, I mean, if you guys are looking for a room to just have a family reunion.
Yeah.
You can't get more perfect than the 3-bedroom grand villas, in my opinion, at Animal Kingdom. I've also actually stayed at the one in Kidani, the 2-story one. That has like a really epic view, but this one is just like so wonderfully laid out.
Yeah.
It's got something for everybody, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Did you take pictures?
I didn't because I didn't want to get her in trouble.
Oh, never
you
mind.
know?
Okay, sorry.
So,
Because there was a family sleeping in the room.
Oh, was there? Okay.
well, I asked and she didn't know. I said, "Can I take pictures?" She's like, "I don't know," and I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it."
No. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean,
We
but
don't want to get anybody in trouble.
I can copy some from Google.
Yeah, they're out there.
I
They're
love
out there,
that.
and it is epic. It
Yeah.
is epic. I think all the 3 bedrooms though, the Grand Villas, there's something special.
3 bedrooms
about each
are
one.
some of
Yeah.
the coolest, and
They
I'm
really
going to be
are.
at one, and I think hopefully you guys are going to be able to join me when some of our great friends over at the DVC Clubhouse, which is a Facebook
Yes.
group, they're going to be having
Yep.
their Clubhouse
Love
weekend, the
DVC
second annual
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse weekend, and it's going to be a party in that Grand Villa.
Nice.
So I can't wait.
And they know how to party, and you know how to carry chicken nuggets or
I do.
tenders or whatever it is.
I'm
that
an excellent caterer.
Yes.
Exactly.
Caterer, Jared.
Celebrity caterer.
Which,
Yeah.
speaking of Animal Kingdom,
Yeah.
it's a perfect segue.
It really is.
Because we were just talking about calculating all of the votes from last month's contest where we asked y'all and said, what is hands down the best pool? A Disney Vacation Club pool. And man, there were, I think, a record number of responses. We have the results. I got to tell you, we were pretty shocked.
Pretty shocked by
Surprised.
this. Yes.
Pretty shocked.
Yeah.
Almost as shocked as these ladies were when they saw my new shirt.
We were
that
going to
I
talk
had
about
on
that shirt.
today.
I know. We always try to balance it. Marissa and I do a good job of like telepathically. We used to text
You mean
and be
Carrie?
like,
Carrie
yes,
and I?
yes. We used to text and be like, I'll wear blue, whatever. But we don't do that anymore any longer. We tend to just show up and have on something similar
We
or
have
complimentary.
ESP,
Well, we showed
the
up
girls.
today. The girls do, and I was
Yeah.
like, Dani, we're perfect. We're florals, butterflies, springy.
Yeah.
And then the alien walks in with this 1980s.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's the Admiral Akbar shirt from Return of the Jedi.
It's
Where the
awesome.
big fish-looking guy
Yes.
goes, it's a trap. That's what he says.
I'm scared.
I feel like that should be a soundbite now that we need to
Everyone
use.
knows that. Everyone knows it. So
It
yes,
is very colorful.
It is very
and
colorful.
vibrant, and it's pretty cool if you ask me.
it's a good shirt. So it's perfect, kind of a shirt to wear by the pool, because as we were looking at the results of this, we couldn't
This is
believe it.
crazy.
And are you ready for this? So again, thank you. Someone has already been notified that they won a $100 gift card to spend at whatever pool they want to spend it at, or if they want to buy a It's a Trap shirt, you probably could find one. But this was the results. We're on here. Do you have them?
I do.
Oh, here. So number one, right? The number one resort pick
This wasn't too shocking, but
Not
a
too
little
shocking.
shocking, but
Yeah.
but pretty tip. We got it.
was
Yeah.
the Polynesian.
Polynesian.
Polynesian was
Sense.
number one.
Okay.
Number two.
I was.
You take this one.
Okay. Number 2 was Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Not at all.
I mean, not that it's bad pool by any means,
Nope.
but I mean, people go crazy over the beach club. Where was
Yeah.
the
I
beach
know
club?
the
I
beach
know.
club. Our beach club fans. I don't know where you're at because it didn't even.
They
make
might be at the pool. That's
the
why they
list.
Yeah,
couldn't.
they were at
probably
the
are at the pool
pool,
at the pool bar. You're
definitely.
right. Read the tie.
And the third is the Grand Floridian and Alani. Tied.
Yeah.
Tied
Yeah.
for third place.
For third
so
place.
it was I mean, all the votes came in for literally,
Yeah.
I think every single resort was covered. Some folks even named some non-Disney Vacation Club resort for their favorite pools.
So let me ask you, for Aulani, is the Not So Lazy River considered the
course.
pool, right?
I would say so. Yeah.
of
It's
course.
water.
How is that?
I don't know how that's not. I can get Polynesian. More people are probably coming to Walt Disney World. You've got the view,
Yeah.
the castle. It is super magical. But I don't.
And we're not hating on Polly by any
no,
means.
or Animal Kingdom. I've been to that pool
No.
too, and it is beautiful. But I'm just curious. Like, it doesn't have the view of the Polynesian. It doesn't have the Aulani amazement. Grand Floridian is a beautiful pool too.
I love that pool.
Yeah,
I
but
love
Beach
that
Club.
pool. Yeah, I know. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
Maybe it's just because, it's one of the originals and just people have childhood memories there.
I think
Polynesian, maybe.
I think it could be the Beach Club because so many people probably thought, oh, everyone's going to vote for the Beach Club.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
that's
going to
true.
be different and
That might
vote for
be it.
something else.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now the Beach Club
Notice
lost.
that the clown pool. Remember the old clown pool from the boardwalk that did not get an honorable mention? That scary
was
clown
not
pool.
number one.
Oh my gosh, that was scared every
So,
child and adult.
we want to give you all another chance to win a $100 Disney gift card. So all we need you to do this month is basically going to tie into everything we're going to be talking about on the show today.
Right.
Let us know in the comments which DVC resort, if you could buy any of them right now, which one would you buy? which one would you rent and which one would you sell? So let us know in the comments on YouTube. Big old thumbs up. Make sure you give us that. Send us as well your answers to info@worldofdvc.com so we can get all your answers. And again, one lucky winner is going to win $100 to spend on their
shopping
next trip.
spree.
Shopping spree, pool bar, festival at Epcot that's 12 months a year now.
You could eat 6 meals at the Regal Beagle.
Really? Yeah, I guess you could for $13 at the Regal Beagle. We'll show Dani Three's
Never
Company
lived
later.
that one down.
I know.
So, all right, so we're going to get into it. This is our fun discussion that we have today. We promise we're going to cover a lot in a short amount of time, but this is important stuff. And like y'all said, these are questions that we get literally every single day. People are like, hey, I'm not a member. Where should I rent points? Or I'm thinking of selling. Is now a good time to sell my XXX contract, whatnot? So we're going to start with right now. If you were in the market to join Disney Vacation Club, right? You've got all these amazing resorts to pick and choose from. If you were to buy one resort right now, Dani, I'm going to start with you.
Now, let me preface this with, of course, as we all know, DVC is not a one-size-fits-all membership.
Right.
I like to say that up front because, you know, if you're talking to any one of us and you ask us this question over the phone, our answer might be a little different for you and your family, right? You know,
Absolutely.
So for me personally, if I were to buy right now, I would look no further. My number one choice would be Polynesian. I mean, Polynesian is a gold mine right now.
Apparently, it's got a really nice pool.
It's got the best
Apparently,
pool.
it's got the number one best pool.
Yeah.
But as we all know, they're building the new tower at the Polynesian. And so, I mean, we are just like sitting in the perfect time to buy, because the thing is, Disney hasn't really put all their marketing dollars into promoting this grand opening of the new tower yet. And so obviously when that happens, we're going to feel it even more than we're already feeling it right now on the resale market. We have noticed that they have the Rofer monster has gotten a lot hungrier recently, especially for Polynesian. He has an appetite for Polynesian at the moment. And so we're in the very beginning of that, obviously. And so we're feeling it, but obviously we're going to feel it way more.
Well, yeah, we're feeling it because we have less poly inventory now.
I think we have like 22 contracts
it's
total.
It's the lowest. It is one of the lowest
times we've ever had.
We've ever had.
Ever had. And it's creeping back up. The prices, again, are starting to creep back up. So I think that's probably the perfect choice.
And there, you need to go into it knowing that there is probably a good chance that it might get bought back. But try. I mean, now there's no better time to try to get a poly right now than
and have a
before
few, right? So if
everything
you
goes live.
say we're going to start with this Polynesian contract, maybe have a few backups.
Have a few
too,
backups,
to your backup
exactly.
about to your point about the Rofer monster kind of coming back to life a little bit. Have a couple in your back pocket so that if this one does get bought back, you can move quickly on another one, and it's not going, oh gosh, I got to start from square one. You know,
and it's also important to be strategic with your offer for poly. You know, look at those Rofer numbers. If you know, everybody wants a good deal, of course. But you have to be smart about it. Look at those Rofer numbers. Don't offer anything below the Rofer numbers. Look at the trends. Look at what Disney is looking for and kind of go for something maybe a little bit opposite of that. But still grab that poly contract before it goes even crazier.
You don't want to be the people that sit. And we had people like this with, you know, the Grand Floridian that were like, oh my God, I wish I would have bought this back when. I wish I would have bought it, because it's just the price is just going to keep going up. Our inventory is going to keep dwindling. So now is the time if you're in the market for that poly contract.
That's why I bought Grand Floridian when I did, because it was.
Because you're smart.
I try to be smart. And it was at that time when the new tower, or the new rooms were being, not the new tower, but the new rooms were in that one building were being remodeled for the studios. And so I bought at that point. And so it was a good time at that time. And so I'm going to go across Bay Lake with my pick, and I'm going to pick Don't forget about Bay Lake Tower, right? Bay Lake is amazing. Across, the lake there, walking distance to Magic Kingdom, but some really good deals that are out there too. You can still become a member for maybe less than the Polynesian. Still use your points of the Polynesian, but have that 11-month window for Bay Lake Tower. I also love Bay Lake Tower because while it's not going to probably be on anybody's best pool list, let's be honest, because their pool is...
Hey, we had a few votes for it.
Did we have a few votes for it? Well, then
did.
I take that back.
did.
I'm just not a huge fan because I feel like I'm behind the magic. I can't really see the magic. But what you can see is the magic no better than your balcony in a theme park
That theme
view,
park view.
right? So I think about like New Year's Eve, 4th of July, the not so scary Halloween fireworks. I think about all the fireworks show.
Yeah.
There's no better place to be than I think at Bay Lake Tower.
And I think a good strategy, if you are looking for a Polynesian contract, I've been telling a lot of members to do this, or a lot of buyers to do this, I should say, is go for that poly contract. But Carrie, like you said, have those backups.
Yes.
And Bay Lake is an awesome
It's such a
backup.
It is such a good backup because you're still in that monorail location, which is highly sought after. So don't overlook Bay Lake Tower because you might get even a better deal
And
there.
I feel like everybody kind of has their eye on the Polynesian
Right.
and Grand Floridian because of the new rooms there, and people are forgetting
forget about Bay Lake. I agree. I agree.
So don't sleep on Bay Lake, and the dues are really low.
They are low. Yep.
The price right now for Bay Lake, I believe, is about $10 to $20 per point less now than it was this time last year.
Right.
So,
I mean, you can't. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I bought, like I said, Grand Floridian, but I ended up using my points this year for Bay Lake Tower in a Grand Villa. So I'm super excited.
Nice.
More to come.
Is that for your party?
Out.
Oh, I was gonna say more to come. Now you just ruined it. Yes, it's for my party. Yes.
And if you're listening to this and you're like, how on earth do they do these 3-bedroom Grand Villas? Like, welcome to being a DVC members. This is what it's about. Would we normally do these things? No. Would we normally spend $5,000 for a room for our birthday? No. But when you have the points, you're like,
yep, it's a special birthday. No numbers, please. But I'm hitting Derek and I will be in the same category soon enough. But anyway, I thought at first
Party at the Regal Beagle.
Party at the Regal Beagle, yes. But at first I thought I'll do a bungalow at the Polynesian.
are you going to play Three's Company?
Maybe we'll do that as a theme. I don't know, a 70s, 80s theme. But I literally was going to do a bungalow. But then I thought, I don't know, my birthday's June. It's kind of rainy.
It's hot.
It's hot. So I thought, to have that many people in the bungalow in case it does rain, I want to have a backup option because you know how fussy I am with my hair. And Bay Lake Tower, the 2-story, it's like...
That's perfect.
It's like being in New York City a little bit with like this fabulous penthouse, but you've got the theme park view of the fireworks. So
I love it.
It's going to be so fun. What about you?
My choice, if I were to buy right now, my choice has nothing to do with the fact that I bought it back in like 1999. But I would pick for anybody out there that loves the boardwalk or the beach club. Those are going to expire in 2042.
Right.
We are in 2024 right now. There's not that many years left on them. So obviously, as the years tick away, the prices will tend to drop.
It's a great point.
And they totally have dropped. So over the last year, both boardwalk, both the beach club have dropped. But again, what I want to stress, why would I buy them? Because if you are one of those families out there that love the boardwalk and beach club area, if you love Crescent Lake and strolling around at night and walking over to Epcot and the Skyliner's right there, and there's jugglers and there's restaurants and the Swan and Dolphin are right next door. Once you're a family, if you've never stayed there and you stay there, you're like, I got to come back.
Yeah.
I love this area more than probably even, the monorail area, just because it's such a world in and of itself that now if you're looking for those, say, hey, for the next X amount of years, I want to know that I'm going to get where I want to stay.
And you
I don't want to be bummed.
You need that priority there. I mean, I wish that we could just extend those deeds.
know.
But you do. If those are your favorite resorts, if you want to be in that Epcot area, you do need the priority
I think with Epcot doing so many festivals, I mean, we all remember when Flower and Garden was April, May, and Food and Wine Festival was September, October, and like that was kind of it. And now it's like January through December. There's always something. And so because of that,
we're having a festival saying that there's not a festival.
that there's a festival
for
coming.
the festival.
Yes, like it's so true. But kind of to Dani's point, there's no one size fits all in the membership, and that's what makes it so flexible. Is that as your family changes, there might be that time when the monorail's perfect for you with the little ones, and then as your kids get older, then the boardwalk, beach club area become your favorite.
Well, that's the key, is because a lot of families out there say, Derek, I don't care if I have a deed that goes all the way until the year 2068.
Right.
I don't care if my dues maybe aren't necessarily the quote unquote lowest. They
right.
just look to say, life's short. I want to be able to stay where I want to stay.
Yes.
And that's the area that I want to stay.
Yeah.
So right now, it's a perfect storm. There's great prices. There's a lot of inventory out there. So my vote is for
And
those.
this is really great for existing members who are looking to add on, just diversify your
add-on.
portfolio. You don't
Every other
have-
year.
Exactly.
I see a
Have
lot of
another
add-ons
home
there
resort.
at the boardwalk. Absolutely.
You could get a monorail property.
yeah,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
You could
add
get-
it on.
You could get an Epcot property, so that you kind of have, and then you can get Animal Kingdom.
I know.
And then you could get Vero
Copper
and
Creek
Aulani
and Aulani
Grand
and I
Cal
know.
and
Have that whole
just-
monopoly
yeah,
board,
have
right?
the whole monopoly.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
that
let's
was
move on.
The best resort to buy. Now,
Yep.
we are going to look. Let's say if you are a seller
Yes.
out there, we know we have a fantastic audience with so many members. If you're someone out there, if you are a member, a Disney Vacation Club member that are looking to rent your points out, what are the best resorts to rent your points out at this time? Who wants to start?
I could start. So, if you were not aware, DVC Rental Store pays out higher than any other company. So, this is really a great opportunity if, 1 year you have points left over, you just aren't going to use them, or maybe you bought into DVC knowing that you're going to need a lot of points for the future, but you want to get it sooner rather than later. We're in a buyer's market. You snag up all those points and you have some points left over. Rent those points out. It'll cover your dues. So there's different tiers. You're going to get anywhere from $14 to $20 per point.
Right.
Which is bonkers.
highest.
If you think about this, okay, your dues are what? Anywhere from, mid $7 per point to $11, $12, dollar per point. And you're getting you can get up to $20 per point back.
Yeah.
That's
So
going
you've
to
got
cover
your
your
dues,
dues.
and you've got some
Pocket
pool bar money.
Yeah, you could buy 10 of these shirts with the extra money. I mean, it's such a cool opportunity. And DVC Rental Store is, there's so many new innovative things going on there. So I think we should talk about that as well, especially
They're
since
really the
Marcy's at
pointologists.
Universal.
We always say that. Like, they are the experts at DVC Rental Store. I think it's also good, like you mentioned, an add-on contract. So you buy an add-on contract maybe, this year, and then you say we're going to use it for next year, and then the following year we're not going to use it the same. So rent out those points, and you have your bigger contract, for your vacation, and then when you do need those add-on points, you've got them there. But there's so much flexibility, and that's what DVC Rental Store is. Just they are the experts and the pointologists at getting the most, the max for your points.
Yeah, yeah.
They
And
know
guys,
how to do it.
We need poly points.
Yeah.
So please,
Yes.
if you have a poly
Yeah.
contract and you need some extra money, you want some play money, you want to swap your points, give us those poly contracts. All of the California resorts
Oh, yeah.
we could use.
Some of them, which, people might be thinking, okay, great. I think I want to rent my points out, but how do I know what tier I kind of fit in? So this, again, you want to reach out to the folks at the DVC Rental Store. So dvcrentalstore.com. They can answer all of your specific questions. But just for those, kind of a top line thing, like, hey, what pays the most right now? What's the most in-demand resorts? We're talking about Beach Club. We're talking about Poly. We're talking about the Grand Californian. And we're talking about, of course, the Disneyland Hotel. Those are your $20 per point resorts. So that's going to get you the absolute max. But honestly, you read these. This is just $2 less per point. So this is $18
and for only
a
$2
point.
less per point. We're like on a game show.
I know.
We got Boardwalk, Grand Floridian, Fort Wilderness, Boulder Ridge, Riviera, and Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you mentioned swapping your points too. I think that's a great way to try the Riviera also. That, unless you purchase there, it is part of the restriction that we talked about on the last show. But what a great way to be able to enjoy Riviera too by saying, let me swap out my points, rent them out, and then book with that cash, book a Riviera resort or Universal or Cruise or Adventures by Disney or VIP tour. There's so many opportunities with the swap program, and the swap program is just also so brilliant. That's also on the website too. So there's a lot, even more flexibility when you rent out your points too.
We did a whole episode on the swaps.
Oh gosh,
so
yeah, we did.
I mean,
Days about it.
We get asked this question a lot.
Yeah.
We worked on cruise line for many years, so we are obsessed with the swap program. And there's so many other ways to use your points that are incredible. And so go check out that episode because it will just completely open the door for you and the different opportunities that you have to use your points.
Lots of great ways to rent out.
So I think a natural segue then is, okay, I'm a Disney Vacation Club member. You just told me what are the most valuable ways for me to, swap out my points and the money and whatnot. But there's a lot of people that are listening that maybe aren't members yet, right? So they're thinking, God, you know what? The club sounds amazing, but I don't know if I'm, ready to fork out 15, 20, 30 grand because I haven't even tried it. So this is question number 3, which is, if you are not a Disney Vacation Club member, where would you like to rent points to stay at? Where would you personally suggest to rent points to stay at? So I'm going to start with you, Carrie.
I've actually rented points out at DVCRentalStore.com, and I rented them at the Grand Floridian because I thought that was going to be the best value when you compare a rack rate, say, on Disney to DVC Rental Store. So it was 2 years ago, it was the Grand Floridian for 2 nights, and I think I paid $900.
See,
for 2 nights.
2 nights.
See, I just stayed when we went, and we recently stayed like last month. We spent 2 nights in one of those resort
right, you just stayed there.
studios.
Yeah.
So our 2 nights, we used our Disney Vacation Club points, but I always like to look online.
It just makes you feel better.
It does.
Just for giggles. And so you go online and I'm like, honey, kids, did you know this room that we're in right now literally is $800 a night.
For a night.
12.5%.
Derek, I'm just imagining you knocking on your next door neighbor's door. Like, did you know how much you're paying? Do you want to know how many points I'm using in comparison to what
and
you're
then him
paying?
going, well, we're off to the pool and using our money at the pool bar. But it's so true. So we did it was for my birthday 2 years ago now, and did the studio at the Grand Floridian. It was about $925. To Dani's point too, then you add on taxes and whatnot. There was none of that because I was renting points. So literally checked in, nice cast member, happy birthday, this and that, great room, rented a cabana because I saved so much money, and it was awesome. So that's where I would personally go back to. Is
I have
Grand
a question.
Floridian.
So I've never rented points from somebody because I'm a DVC member.
Right.
But when you did that, which is a great way to kind of get a feel for what it's like to be a DVC member, when you checked in, like, did you kind of feel like you were a member? Like, did it kind of put you in those shoes?
That is such a great point, honestly, Dani, because we hear that from time to time that people will say, are we on a blacklist somewhere? Right? Like, do they say, like, oh, gosh, you've rented these points?
Like, you're going to check in and be like, you're not a member, are you?
Rental store, right?
Points?
Yeah, no, gosh, no. If anything, the cast member was just so accommodating, more because it was my birthday than anything else. But even without that, she was like, oh, yes, Miss McPherson, I see your reservation right here. We've got you for 2 nights. Your room isn't quite ready yet, but I see it's your birthday. Let me see what I can do for you to get you, a room faster, but I still want to give you a great view. Like, it was like we were like hand carried by like Mary Poppins penguins to the room. Like, it was so perfect. And there was no feeling of like, but I did wonder that checking in, like, oh gosh, are they going to ask me for anything or anything? Nothing.
Or alarms going to start going off?
No, it was just like a regular reservation because it is a regular reservation.
It is.
The member made the reservation with their points. I rented them out. No difference than when I've rented out my own points to somebody who's renting them from me. The reservation was in my name. I just changed the name over, and you can do that with any of the reservations. Yeah. So that's where I would go personally.
Where would you go?
I would do Grand Floridian.
So I actually grew up coming to Disney since I was 3. We lived in South Florida, and this was our family vacation.
Sure.
We always came to Disney. Yeah. And I remember walking through the parks. Like, I remember this from when I was really little, and my dad would always want to stop and talk to the DVC people, and my mom was like, no, they're just trying to sell us something. She's like a typical New Yorker.
Look at you now.
Yeah. And so, I mean, now my mom kicks herself, for not doing it so long ago. And so we always stayed at the value resorts. Right. So I never knew what it was like to stay at a deluxe property. And kind of ironically, I always dreamed of staying at Animal Kingdom. And so kind of, weird that I'm staying there now. And, I get to use my points there all the time. I think Animal Kingdom is a great one to rent out because the rack rate is so high.
And the points are so low.
The points are so low.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great, great resort to experience. Another one I would say is Riviera. If you're kind of contemplating buying, you're on the fence. Do I do direct or resale? I want to have access to Riviera. Of course, if you buy one of the 14 classics on the resale market, you don't get access to Riviera. But that doesn't mean you can't ever stay there.
Right.
You're going to be saving
Yeah.
50 to 60%,
Right.
versus buying direct. So take that money and once in a while you rent points at Riviera.
Riviera.
Right.
I think the other great thing about Animal Kingdom too is it's the only DVC resort with a concierge level. So if you want to have a nice concierge level access, something with a savannah view and a
I'm sure Danny's going to go crash that tonight too somehow.
we'll come join her.
We used to be cast members.
Can we just
Kev is like amazing at that. I'm like, I just stand back and let
just
him,
let him do
work
it,
his
yeah.
magic, and every time I'm just blown
come
away.
back
Like,
with the zebra dome.
yeah,
right?
he gets anything he wants. I don't understand how he does it,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll probably be in concierge tonight. if you're
Wonderful.
saying
Well,
that.
let us know. Send some pictures because I think that's so unique with Animal Kingdom is not only can you, it's the only resort where you can look at a giraffe outside of your morning window with your coffee, but you can also have that concierge level as well.
Yeah.
So there's something so special and unique, of course, about all of the DVC resorts, but I find that one is truly like you can't do concierge anywhere else. And if you're used to concierge or want to experience that, it is really special.
It's a bucket list resort,
yeah.
like for
Yeah.
so many people,
Yeah.
it's just one of those resorts that people just aspire to stay
Yeah,
at.
I agree. What about you?
I was thinking about this, and I think that I would pick if I was not a member but wanted to rent. And I talk to people all the time too that aren't familiar with that Boardwalk Beach Club area. So I would pick that area. And I say that just because if you're thinking about trying before you buy, right? Then you think about, well, I'm not sure if I want this one because it's, it only goes until 2042 versus some of the other ones, but I've never maybe been to that area.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have and you love it. I would pick those, either Beach Club or the Boardwalk, just because of their proximity, of course, to Epcot. You're on the Skyliner is right there, which I've yet to ever go on the Skyliner.
You
I've
haven't done the
never been on-
Skyliner?
never been.
Are you you're scared of it?
No, I
or-
just have never had a reason to go on the Skyliner.
How is this possible
So,
that
yeah.
we've
Why
not
don't you
grabbed
just
it?
make a date out of it?
I just walked by it on Friday.
I think you and I should be the date though, and
Yeah.
we should take you with the camera and
I don't know. I just never have. I just saw it on Friday. And I was like, Annie, look, there's that Skyliner that I haven't been on.
That's been around for
5
for
years.
now.
She's like, do you want to go on it? I go,
No.
No.
Oh my gosh.
But regardless, it's that location. And if you're someone that maybe is, on the fence about buying a property that ends in 2042, but you love that area, then if you're going to come, every other year, just maybe rent points at the
Yeah.
Boardwalk Beach Club area. Try it out. Because once you try that area, and it's super
You'll love
important,
it.
like we talked about, if you want to go during festival time,
gosh.
if you want to go there during the holy grail of, the Food and Wine Festival.
Right.
if you want to have your own private entrance,
Right. To have own private
You-
entrance, yeah.
You need to, if you're going to rent, you need to get that request in to the DVC Rental Store as soon as possible because those are incredibly busy, popular times. But
Yeah.
that is what I would pick.
Gosh, you think you know a person, and then you find out you've never been on the Skyliner before. I feel like nothing's right in the world today. Your shirt, my seat,
when I tell people that, they're like, "Are you serious?
we're
You've
gonna
never been on the
kidnap
Skyliner?"
Derek and put him on the Skyliner.
All right. Now it's time for the final question.
Yeah.
It is, if I was a DVC owner right now and I was looking to sell a Disney Vacation Club contract, which contracts, and again, this is all just personal choices, so we just want to stress, which resort would you sell right now? So
Which would you sell?
I'm going to start because I already talked about it a little bit. I would say those 2042s.
Yeah.
So we're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about Vero Beach. We're talking about Hilton Head. We're talking about Boardwalk. We're talking about Beach Club, perhaps even Old Key West. The only one that hasn't dipped in price, which is kind of shocking, is Boulder Ridge. So that really hasn't gone down because I think it recently got...
It just had the refurbishment. Yeah, the refurb,
Right.
yeah.
some fresh life into it.
Yeah.
But I would just know that, just historically, those prices as the years tick away are going to get less and less and
Right.
less. So if you find someone that you have one of these contracts and you haven't used it, or you're just not using it.
Or you know what? Especially if you have one of these contracts and you're not using the home resort priority.
Yeah.
Then that's kind of a no-brainer. If you, like you said earlier, if Beach Club, Boardwalk, if those are your favorite resorts and you need that 11-month booking priority,
Yeah.
it is important to own there.
Yeah.
But if you're not using it,
No.
Right.
Right.
I think you could also, though, take your 2042, sell it, and then repurpose that into a longer contract.
For sure.
Especially if you have
Right?
like young kids.
If you have young kids, if this was passed down to you or whatnot, you could repurpose that into something that's longer. And we do see members that do that.
All the
right?
time.
All
We're
the
asked
time.
every single
Yeah,
day.
it's kind of like swapping it out for a longer.
Hey, I have a
longer
contract
deed.
that I'm not using really anymore, or
Right.
my kids aren't using anymore. But however, we found ourselves that we want to maybe
Yes.
have a larger contract with a
Yeah.
later life. Can you help me sell it, and then
Right.
can we help
You
us
can
buy
do
something
that.
too?
Right.
Yeah,
And
of course.
I actually had a seller who said, we lived on the East Coast, and then my daughter and her family moved to California. We followed them, and now we go to Aulani all the time. And we want that 11-month window. So can we move this to that? And so now they were looking at the Aulani contracts and selling. I don't know if she had Hilton. I think it was Hilton she had, because they lived up in like the Carolinas. So you can swap that out, and then whether it be for a resort that's closer to your home or a longer deed, that might work for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What
then
about you?
I think I would just go with Grand Floridian because
Yeah.
it's been super consistent.
Very
You're
consistent.
on the monorail.
Yeah.
If you just are at the point in your life that you just need some extra money, you're sitting on a Grand Floridian contract. I mean, I just think it's a really safe bet to go with Grand Floridian.
Yeah.
What are we?
I was just going to say, so as you said that, I whip up my handy stats and my old man reading glasses.
I think you
and
look
you
great.
can see even a year ago in March, so the Grand Floridian was average about 155 per point. This right now, March of 2024, it's up to 160.
Nice.
So,
Very consistent, very safe. Everybody wants to go to the Grand. so,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's great. So you have heard our thoughts. Let us know what your thought is. If you want to win that $100 gift card, send us an email at info@worldofdvc.com to win that $100 gift card. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with where you would buy, sell, or rent. I was hoping for some modeling back here of buy, sell, or rent, but nobody did anything. That's okay. All right, yeah, it's a little late, Dani, but you get our point. And don't forget to drop us that email to win that $100 gift card as well.
We want to give away money.
Yes,
We
exactly.
don't want money. And most importantly, we want to hear your thoughts, because we talked a lot today, but that's what we do, and we do it because of all of you. Because if no one watched and no one liked and no one subscribed and no one commented,
Then we wouldn't be here.
We'd be literally talking to Jeff, and he does not want to do that. So thank you all again for joining us on today's very special episode.
Thank you both, Dani. Thank you for joining us as
you
well,
for
coming
having
all the
me.
way from Italy or France or Animal Kingdom. It's always fun when you stop by.
Yes,
we love to
it was
see
a
you.
very long flight here.
all the way
Safari in Africa.
Dani and I are going to
Yeah.
kidnap Derek now and take you on the Skyliner. But we have one more thing left to do, right?
We have one more
Yes.
thing. It is our long-standing tradition. This is episode number 36.
36.
I can't believe it already.
No.
That's so crazy.
So crazy.
But anyway, thank you all for tuning in, and
We'll see you real soon.
Oh, nice shirt, Derek.
It starts with a spark, alive in our hearts, a chance to build your legacy. To go to magical places with smiling faces and value and trust you can see.